Aloha and welcome to Experience 45, the Next.js version of Island Snow. We're going to take our Island Snow in React and then we're going to use Next.js, but we're going to use a Next.js application template as the basis for our Island Snow application. So I'm going to open this in a new tab. So I'm going to go to the ICS software and I'm going to use this template to create a new repository. I'm going to be the owner. Island Snow Next.js. Make it private. Create the repository. Hopefully it'll only take a few seconds. There I got Island Snow Next.js. We've got the repo. Let's clone it to my desktop. Going in there. Okay. So now the instructions are to open it and run npm install. I'm going to run it in Visual Studio. And I'm going to open the terminal. npm install. And one thing to notice is that the Next.js application template doesn't have a my project. It puts the actual Next.js application at the root. So we don't have to cd into my project or my app or all that stuff that we did in React. Okay, that worked. Run dev. It says it's up. Let's see. Takes a few seconds to compile and build, and we've got the template. It's up and running. Excellent. So that's working. Command line, I've got these stuff. I've got some warnings, no secret. Those are fine. We didn't set up our .env file. That's not a problem for this version. So now I want to make sure that ESLint, so I've already opened the Next.js. So we want to look at source, app, for example, page. Make sure that this is working. I get my red errors. Excellent, ESLint is running. Perfect. So now I want to take the Island Snow React mockup. So let's go and cd ESLint snow dash react. Come on, gotta find my version. Island Snow React Snow React JS ls. I'm going to open it up in VS Code. Okay, so there's my app. Okay, this is the one I was thinking about. So I want to get the style.css. Okay, copy that to here. So I copied that, and then I want to copy the images So I need to get this, copy them. I want to put them in public, and I need to put them here because the style may refer to it locally. So the style.css doesn't need it. Okay, so I probably don't need to copy those. So now, done that. Now I want to create the components. So I've got in my React version, let's open this up so I can see things. In my React version, the page.tsx has a top menu, an Island Snow logo, a middle menu, and a full width image, and then a footer menu. So I want to create components. So let's just copy. And I want to put it in the components. So I need a new file. Top menu.tsx. Paste it. It's going to complain. So we want to say export default top menu, add a new line to the file. Since we are in a component and we're using React Bootstrap components, we want to say use client. And now we need to import all of these things. We don't need to import React. And GitHub Copilot is so much. And then we've got these Facebook, so I need to import the icons. We didn't get the other ones. Look. House fill. X. Pinterest. And so we've got all our icons. We reformatted so it's not and then it's not happy with that. So let's just close that off. So now it's happy, no ESLint problems. So let's go to my page. And I don't need that. Well, I'll leave that in just for fun. And then I can say top menu. And it's from components top menu. Now when I look at it, I've got my top menu here, which looks correct. I've got my icons. So now let's switch back to the Island Snow logo. Create another component, new file, Island Snow logo.tsx, paste, no. Again, we're using React components, so we want to use client, since some of these components can't be rendered on the server side. So no ESLint problems. Update our page. We've got our Island Snow logo. Excellent. Go back. Let's look at the middle menu. Another component. Middle menu.tsx. Paste. Port default middle menu. Again, we want to use client. Import. Nav. So again, these closed. Self-closing. Got this. I don't have an extra, so I can use my command period. Fix all. Makes my life. Command period. Fix all. Isn't VS Code fantastic? Now I can update my page. I've got my middle menu. Sweet. Go and do my full width image. Another component. .tsx. Paste it. Same thing. Use client. If you don't use client, some of these things can be rendered on the server side, but certain React components can't, like the card. So I just use client for my components, just out of just doing it. I may not need it, but it's a habit. Full width image. I've got my image. Sweet. I still get all this template stuff. I'll get rid of that later. Then let's get my footer menu. Again, another component. And no. Let's see. Okay. I've got my components. I'm updating the page. Now I don't need this container anymore. That's the application template container. So now it should look like that. Let's check. We do. But we do have this. We didn't get the style on this bottom menu. So let's go into the page and make sure. Well, we got this error. get rid of that. But we need to import dot style. Did I add it? Dot CSS. So that we get our styles, so our bottom footer menu is styled. Okay, so that's looking good. What's the next instruction? We're good, but we got the nav bar in the footer. So we need to update the layout.tsx. We don't need the nav bar. We don't need the footer. And we got rid of the nav bar and we got rid of the footer. We need to fix the title. That's up in the metadata here. Now the title's changed, but I just noticed we got these extra imports, which we don't need. Fix the title. Now we commit ported Island Snow to Next.js. Push. We're doing that so that when this next step where we're going to clean up the UI code, we want to make sure that all our changes got to GitHub. And if we make a mistake or something, we can undo the changes. So what we want to do, we committed it. So now we want to go through the source app and source components. Let's go through the source components first. So we don't need the ads. Well, let's go here. We'll say we don't need the add page. So delete, I should say. And now I don't need that form because that was in that page. It's no longer used. Move to trash. I don't need the edit. Delete. Move to trash. I don't need the edit stuff form. I removed the footer from my layout. We can see that it's still compiling and we deleted the nav bar. Now, we don't need any of the admin. The admin stuff has the admin page, the list stuff admin. So let's delete that, which means I don't need my stuff item admin. Move to trash. The API stuff has all this auth. Don't need that anymore because there's no logging in. The auth is the authentication stuff. Don't need that because we don't have any login. The list stuff, we don't need that. We don't need the stuff item anymore. We don't need the not authorized because there is no path, there's no routes, no protected routes. And we don't need the loading spinner, waiting for stuff from the database because we're not doing that. Check to see that it's still running properly. Good to go. We're still running. We basically have our layout that sets it up. We have our page. We don't need our providers, but I'm not going to get rid of that because that's not a UI component. So now we just have our components, which are the 6 components for ours that we used in the page. 6, and looks good. Now let's double check. Let's create a new terminal. Do npm run lint to check that we don't have any lint errors. And there are no lint errors. So I am done. So I can commit this. Done with clean up. Commit. Push. And then I can view it on GitHub to make sure that it's up there. Open up source. Components. And we only have our components. We don't have any of the stuff from the application template for the list, all that stuff. So this is our island snow using the Meteor application template and removing all the extra stuff that we don't need, specifically the stuff. So we are done. Hope you enjoyed. I hope you followed along. Hope you can understand. This is a very simple way of taking a React single page component and then breaking it up into components and pages. So thank you for your attention.